Hello and welcome to Bored and Confused Mom Edition. Today we're going to talk about the show that my mom saw this afternoon. What did you see?
I saw The Great Gatsby.
Great. What did you think?
Well, there's a lot of musicals I wanted to see when I was here in New York, but I really wanted to see The Great Gatsby because I have seen both of the movies, both Robert Redford and Leonardo DiCaprio, and I've read the book back when my oldest grandson was having to study it in high school, and he doesn't really like English that well, so I read through the whole thing. I was very impressed how they condensed that whole long story, which is the book is pretty thick, and kept all of the right things so that you could follow the story completely through and be completely engaged. I know you always ask later if I'm bored or confused. Never
we'll
bored.
Get there. never bored with it.
Never bored because it's a classic, and it's just such a compelling story that it just draws you in and keeps you in. And I have to say, the lyrics did a great job, as they should in a musical, of moving the story forward and telling us what's going on. So that was great. Also, the costumes were fantastic, and I like splashy musicals. I'm from the old school, you know, Rodgers and Hammerstein and Meredith Willson, and those just bright, happy musicals.
Is this one happy though?
No, well, the first part is, but obviously, if anyone knows the story, it's not going to be bright and happy at the last part because it is a tragedy.
I wanted to bring that up because a lot of the criticism of the show were that it lacked the dark cynicism of the novels and that the musical was much brighter and happier.
Well, it's a musical. Well, I know Sweeney Todd, but I like the bright musicals, and that gives you the contrast between all the wealth and excess that was on the surface and then all the things going on underneath. So I felt like, no, it changed the tone, and it got darker. Now they did at the end, but I thought, you have to have an ending.
Well, it has to end.
So they did have the dancers come out as the same way they did at the beginning, all lined up with, what's his name in the thing?
Nick Carraway.
Nick Carraway, yes. So, and he starts it and he ends it. So they have that at the beginning and the end.
You like the framing device?
Yeah, the framing. That's a good point. See, I don't know all these expert words, but I felt like I felt there was it's a musical that's mostly bright and cheerful, and I felt like the dark part. It wasn't a long amount of it, but they did have it at the end.
You saw Corbin Bleu as Nick. Who did you see as Gatsby and
I have no
Daisy?
idea because I was chatting with the person next to me, and I didn't have time to
Okay, they're there, right there.
Okay, Reeve Carney and Eva Noble.
And so interesting casting, these were the two that were in Hadestown together.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
Eva was the original Daisy in this version of Gatsby with Jeremy Jordan, and she's come back. And I think they paired her with Reeve Carney because they had good chemistry together in Hadestown. So what did you think of those two?
Well, that explains why when Eva walked on, her first walk on stage, the whole audience applauded. That's why, because evidently she's the original.
Star, yeah.
I thought she was amazing.
She became a star with Miss Saigon
Okay,
years back.
I figured she probably
the revival
did.
of Miss Saigon.
I thought
she did that.
Yeah, she was wonderful. I thought everybody was great. I have to say, just a superficial thing. I would have liked to have seen Jeremy Jordan because he's so handsome. And after having seen both the movies with very handsome leading men playing Jay Gatsby, this guy, he was nice looking, but he wasn't like the knockout handsome like those other people.
Sorry, Reeve, you're not a knockout.
I'm sorry, Reeve. Well, but yeah, because the bad guy.
Yeah, John Bellman.
Yeah, he was really maybe better looking. I don't know. Don't. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They
well,
probably both were
Gatsby
about
doesn't
the same.
necessarily. He doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to
because that character.
Because they made the other one so bad that you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
You want her, you root for her to be with Gatsby because her husband is just awful.
How was Reeve singing?
Oh, it was good. I thought it was very good.
Because the challenge is, it was Ava premiered it, so her voice, of course, it was written on her.
Yes.
Whereas Reeve is having to step into
Yes,
something that
it
was
was.
written for someone else.
I thought it was good, and I didn't get to see Jeremy, but I'm sure his was probably better. But
so, what did you think of the music?
I mentioned the lyrics, and I just don't remember music unless I've heard it a bunch of times. It was all a lot of fun. It was hard to sit still because the rhythms, it was the jazz age. I really loved the music, but I don't remember any of the tunes at the moment. If I listened to it again, I might. I'm one of these people, when I was younger and everything was on records, I used to buy the original cast recordings for all the musicals and memorize them. So then I would know all the songs. And
So let me ask you, you've seen 2 musicals, 3 so far. You saw this, you
So
saw
far?
2 Strangers.
2 Strangers.
Oh, it was Just in Time.
Oh, yeah.
So
that
you
was
knew
fun.
those songs.
Yeah, I knew those songs. So,
so
just in time, I knew the songs.
Of the 3 musicals you've seen, would you buy the cast album and listen to the Gatsby soundtrack?
Yeah, I think I
Cast
would.
album?
I think I would.
Would you buy the 2 Strangers Carry a Cake?
Yeah, I would if I was going to buy any albums. But I don't
Sounds like
think-
you're not going to, though.
Oh.
All right. So we kind of already answered this. So you weren't bored.
No, I was not bored. I was not confused.
Were you confused? Not at all, because you know the
No,
story.
because I know the story, and I was kind of anticipating. How are they going to show that? Because in the movie, they show you Daisy driving.
Right.
And I was very impressed with the way they were able to, with very few words, get us to visualize the things that took a lot more when you read it. I mean, it was a lot more detailed, or even in the movies, that they were able to.
I think they handled it
lyrics.
pretty well. I did find I forget her name of the character, but the spoiler alert, if you don't know the Gatsby.
Oh, the girl.
The fatality.
The floozy
The
girl.
floozy fatality. That was a difficult moment to stage. She sings a big song and then she's like, ah.
Yeah, but she's also, what she's saying in that song, I think, is that I don't have a way out.
Yeah.
If I go to him, the rich guy, he's going to throw me over in a couple of years, and so that's going to be temporary. And then I don't want to be with my husband because I can't stand
So
him.
it sounds like you really
And-
responded to the lyrics.
Yes, the lyrics I thought
That's
got, especially since I don't remember
It's
things for a
Kate
long time.
Kerrigan.
Really-
No, Kate Kerrigan's book.
Oh, well, the lyrics, they're
Nathan Tyson.
well, I would say the book too, because they have to.
Good job,
pick-
Nathan Tyson.
And the book, because they have to figure
book.
out how they're going to condense this all for a musical. And I thought that they did an excellent job.
I'm not surprised by your reaction, because when I did my review, this show got a lot of bad reviews.
Really?
It did.
What about-
Because people are just hung up on the book. And people have an expectation. They go, oh, I love this about the book. I love the darkness and da-da-da. And then when they don't see what their experience on the book put on the stage, they're upset about it. But as someone who has adapted shows before, musicals,
You can't, yeah.
you have to make a musical. Musicals are about love stories. So you really have to focus more on the love story. But you
that's
don't
what-
have to, but
and that's
you're
what
wise
makes
to.
it tragic. That's the tragedy of
But
it.
it also, I think people felt like, oh, these two are going to end up together.
What?
But that's what you need. You need,
Yes.
you know, you always tell me this, because when I write stuff, you're like, where's the love story?
I know,
So-
I like the love story.
So I figured people like you, people who really like a splashy Broadway show and a big love story and big singing.
Yes.
Great Gatsby, you get your money's worth, right, for the show.
Right.
Speaking of, where did you get your ticket?
Oh, I got it. It was
It
the
was like
lottery.
$45?
Yes, it was $45 on the lottery.
And how was your seat?
It was really good. I was on the left side on the 8th seat
8th seat over?
in row L.
Row L in the
so
orchestra.
that's in the orchestra. So that's like if you count down to A, B, C.
Yeah, that's a
pretty
great
good.
seat.
It's a really good seat.
Sometimes you get some good seats in that
And
lottery.
I think it's handy because one of my pet peeves, okay.
Oh, yeah, tell us the pet peeve.
All right, so there were 3 seats. Well, there were some people that came way over on the side. They probably got lottery tickets too. And then there were like 3 seats between me and the people way on the end that were empty when the show started. And it wasn't until the middle of one of these big, I think the party number, in the middle of it, 3 people come crawling over all the seats to come in late. And the one sitting next to me, I don't know, I didn't look at the person to see how big they were, but they seemed to be pushing over into my side.
Oh.
I had to keep moving my leg over.
You needed that big seat that you had yesterday.
That's what I was thinking. I wish that person next to me had that big seat yesterday. Oh,
So
my
your
goodness.
pet peeve is when people push into your seat.
No, my pet peeve is when people come late and crawl over
Oh.
you in your middle of watching it.
Okay, we're not body shaming. We're
No.
late shaming.
I mean, I ramble and I say things I shouldn't.
So yeah, when people come
Pardon
late.
me.
I know, I hate that too.
Yeah.
Be on time.
Yeah, it's important to be early.
Be early,
Because
right?
that way, if you're early, you're on time.
If you're early, you're
I've
on
had people
time.
tell me
You
that.
hear, and
If
it's
you're
true.
10 minutes early, you're on time.
Yep. If you're on time, you're late.
Yes.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed this. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mom.
Bye.
Don't wanna drift away. Wanna stay inside the play. Keep me engaged, keep me amused with what's in front of me. 'Cause I don't wanna be bored and confused.